Okay, this video is going to talk about how to get started with Google Forms and creating quizzes for your classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to forms.google.com. Make sure I'm signed into my Google. You can be signed into your Cub account. You can be signed into Google. And I'm just going to create a blank form to start from scratch. They give you some options for some templates that are already created, but we're just going to go from a blank form. We're going to title it Test Quiz. And this is an example for simple quizzes. Alright, so if I click up here, it populates the title and it'll save it as test quiz for me. The first question I always ask is, what is your name? And the computer already knows that it needs to be a short answer. I make it required. Then this plus button gives me the next question. So I click the plus button and I'm going to ask, what is your email? And it gives me the option or suggests that I make email collection available. That's great, except that I want students have to be signed into their Google account there. So for my purposes, I don't want that. And it gives me the short answer text again. I'm going to hit the plus button again, and now I can start my questions. I have various choices. I can do a short answer, a paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, drop down, a linear scale, which is like a Likert scale from 1 to 5, and you can actually set it from 1 to 10 or 0 to 100. A multiple choice grid where you would have multiple questions on the left side and multiple choices as columns. And the same thing with a checkbox grid. You can have multiple answers at the same time. So I'm just going to do something super simple. We'll do multiple choice. I'm going to say, what is 1 plus 3? And my options here, I can say 1. And it's going to suggest I add all of these up to 5. So it gives me up to 5. What's 1 plus 3? And the answer is going to be in there. It gives me those options. The AI here is actually improved quite a bit lately. So there's my first question. I'm going to add another question. What is 5 minus 3? And I'm going to, again, I'll put 2, 3, 4, 5. I just hit enter and it gives me the next option. Okay? And so I'm going to make that required again. And if I click on these 3 buttons, it gives me the chance to do some other things with it. I can shuffle the option order so it won't have them in a row. And that's a really good option for you. Again, I can hit the plus button, and then I can do a short answer question or a paragraph question to make the rest of the assessment. And it gives me a paragraph. I'll make it required. One of the things that you can do here is you can also import pictures. If I have an image that I want to take, or I have a picture of something, I can actually go onto Google Drive, or I can search Monet, for instance, and I can insert one of these images from the internet. They're labeled for commercial use with modifications, so they're already okay. And this is from Wikipedia, and I can insert that picture. And then I can add questions for the analysis. So and then I can make sure that it is a paragraph answer. Okay, so there's lots of different ways to do that. You can actually import an image on each one. So if on each question, so I can search here, do Monet again, and it'll actually put in the image into that specific question. One of the things that I can also do is add a video. If I add a video, it's going to be its own block within there, but I can just add the video here. and maybe we put in, oh, Captain My Captain, and I can search, and this is the video I want, so I select it, and it puts in the video, and then I can make questions afterwards. And I can make a multiple choice. And of course, I'd go back and make sure that these are written correctly. Make it required. So that's how you create a quiz. Now we're going to use this same quiz and make it so that it can be assessed on its own. Now, one of the things that we have is this question right here is a short answer or long answer question. It will not grade it on its own. There's other softwares that can help you do the grade assessment answers like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on my settings, and I can restrict. This gives me all the different settings. I'm not going to restrict it to UCA users. Presentation, I can shuffle it. I can show link to other responses. I'm going to click on quizzes. Once I make this a quiz, it'll let me have grades. I can immediately send you your grades or have students send grades. They can see missed questions, correct answers, and point values. I'm just going to click save here. What happens is once I click on a question, it gives me an answer key option, and I can choose the answer and how many points it is. So I can say it's 3 points, what's 1 plus 3, and I choose the correct answer, and it gives me the correct answer there. Then I go to the next question, click on answer key, put how many points I want it to be, what's 5 minus 3, and I choose that question, and I can actually add answer feedback. Incorrect answers, I can say, for correct answers, I can give answer feedback here. Here you would give something and say, you would say maybe insert a video or a link on how to solve that problem here as well at the bottom. So once I save those, it gives me the answers there. Again, we're looking at long answer text, so this one doesn't actually have a specific feedback for you. You can give feedback, but it's not going to tell you if it's correct or incorrect. For the poem one, same thing. Who is the narrator? And I would click on answer key and give it a couple points, and in this case the sun is the narrator. Alright, and once you're done, you can actually send the quiz. You can email it to specific people. You can get a link and post it. You can shorten the link. And you can also embed it in HTML as well. So there's all these different ways. You can post it on Facebook or pop it in Twitter as well. So there's lots of different ways to send the form. That's the quick way to make a self-grading quiz on Google Forms.